Hi guys. All right, so this is the All Signs weekly update. Hopefully everybody survived the full moon. It was rough, guys. It was rough. I don't do well with full moons. I just don't. I think it's the Lyme disease, but it just kind of messes with my head, and I didn't sleep very well. So, all right. So starting with Aries, 5 cards for Aries for the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Aries, I'm getting like a ringing in my ear for you. Could be having some sort of like spiritual like elevating to some degree. All right, so on Monday we have you working hard towards some sort of goal. Could be like getting to that goal on Monday, to be honest with you. Could be a pay raise, could be a brand new job offer, could be moving up in a company, anything like that, okay? On Tuesday, I see you celebrating this as well. You will be invited somewhere, though, that you cancel at the last minute, okay? So this doesn't have to be necessarily on Tuesday, but I do see you canceling plans. On Wednesday, you are in the upright. Somebody's going to want to reconcile with you. Could be a Pisces, doesn't have to be, or could be just a spiritual person in general. It does look like you may reconcile with this person. On Thursday, you're dealing with a kind of hostile person else in the workplace and or at home. Could be an air sign. And on Friday, it looks like you're kind of keeping your eye on somebody or spying on somebody. You're suspicious of somebody, so you're kind of like spying on them by Friday. I don't think you're going to find anything. I'm not seeing anything. Moving on to Taurus. 5 cards for Taurus for the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, Taurus. Looks like you could be getting an apology on Monday or some sort of closure. It looks really good. It looks like you're going to be pretty happy by the end of the day. On Tuesday, you could be spending time with somebody you care about. Just be careful. Even though there's a lot of like abundance, emotional abundance there, family, lover, it doesn't matter, okay? This person's not always putting your feelings first, if that makes sense, or they're not taking you into consideration at all times. So I'm not loving it. On Wednesday, it does look like you're going to need some extra sleep. Could be having conversations with somebody at work, or even if you're retired, this could be outside of work, that are going to be kind of like stressful. So you're just like, I need the day off kind of thing. On Thursday, you're having some regret about where you're spending your money or where you're investing your money. So be careful. And on Friday, you are making some big decisions. Could be working towards a spiritual goal as well. Moving on to Gemini. Gemini, I'm having a hard time breathing. That's for you. And you need malachite. Am I saying that right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. On Monday, somebody could be making some sort of offering to you. This could be a job, a gift, anything like that. Something that you can, something that's handy, useful, or something you've been looking forward to, okay? On Tuesday, we have you getting word from somebody. They're making, again, I'm getting two days of 2 offerings, okay? So one could be a literal gift, and the other one is like, hey, would you like to come work for me? Or hey, would you like to go get coffee? Something of that nature, okay? And you're mirroring somebody on Tuesday, or they are you. Okay, this looks work related, but if it's not, it's somebody within your energy. And on Wednesday, it does look like you're considering a move. If it's not a move, you could be considering changing career paths, something of that nature. And on Thursday, we have new opportunities for more money and travel. On Friday, you're dropping some sort of heavy burden that's been weighing on you for quite a while and feeling more comfortable in your skin. Okay, moving on to Cancer. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. On Monday, you are having some conversation with somebody who's extremely manipulative. Be really careful there. They're going to try to like else reconcile or smooth things over with you, but they're making false promises, basically, okay? Could be an air sign, doesn't have to be. On Tuesday, you're overthinking a situation. It's like one of those days where you're like, I should have said this, I should have said that, and you can't go back in time, so it's like frustrating. We've all been there, right? By the end of the day, you'll be feeling fine. And on Wednesday, you are feeling energetically tied to a situation. Somebody probably did screw you over, but it's like you can't detach from them for some reason. And on Thursday, we have a wish fulfillment happening, especially if you're in a relationship or looking to be in a relationship. Lots of stability in your current and or going into a relationship, okay? And on Friday, we have you. Looks like Friday's not your best day ever. Lots of frustrations, could be fighting with somebody and resisting a tower moment. Let the tower fall. It's absolutely necessary, okay? Moving on to Leo. 5 cards for Leo for the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, on Monday, you are feeling pretty good. For some of you, you could be getting engaged, moving in with somebody, meeting the love of your life, something like that. It could be a water sign, doesn't have to be. On Tuesday, you're looking at new possibilities and options for a long-term commitment, and or this could also be a business partnership, okay? Talks about travel by Wednesday. Somebody's going to probably invite you somewhere. That's what it looks like. And on Thursday, you have a very heavy burden around your finances that you're going to actually be able to figure out, pull yourself out of any sort of burdens there and fix it by the weekend, okay? And on Friday, we have you spending time with somebody who's probably your 10 of Cups. Moving on to Virgo. All right, Virgo. Monday through Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. Lots of reconciliation, it looks like, this week, guys, with Mercury retrograde being over, but still in the shadow period. Please be careful, okay? Overthinking on Monday, trying to decide if you really want to invest in a situation or not, or whether you want to walk away. On Tuesday, we have somebody wanting to reconcile. Could be a fellow earth sign. It's possible. On Wednesday, you have some regret about what you have said or done to somebody. You feel like you may have been too selfish and you didn't really think things through. And on Thursday, you're willing to find some balance, retrace your steps, so to speak, maybe apologize and or change the way you're looking at a situation. And on Friday, we have messages here about you dropping some sort of heavy burden around your home and or office, okay? Something working out for you. Moving on to Libra. Monday through Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, having some regret on Monday. I think you also are going to take the day off or leave early or not go to work or, if assuming you're not retired. Just kind of like a lazy day that you're going to regret. You're going to be like, I should have done this. Why didn't I do this? But that's fine. On Tuesday, we have you looking at new possibilities for else a relationship and or a business. It looks really good. Something that's going to be very eventful. On Wednesday, could be going through some sort of physical pain, headache, emotional grief, anything like that, okay? And heartbreak by Thursday as well. Oh, okay. The heartbreak looks like somebody's being very distant with you, or there was plans that get canceled. And on Friday, could be spending time with family members and or friends. Moving on to Scorpio. Monday through Friday for Scorpio. I'm seeing the letter X and the letter S. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, there's some heavy burden on your shoulders on Monday. You don't want to fight with somebody anymore. You want to work towards some sort of goal. You have to see if they're on the same page. On Tuesday, you're letting go of some sort of toxic behavior you may have or somebody has, even like a codependency or an addiction, and you're kind of like moving forward. Things are going to get better. On Wednesday, you could be moving forward with a passionate situation. It doesn't have to be sex. It doesn't have to be a person, but that's what it's looking like. It's like, okay, I need to go after what I want kind of thing. If you don't have sex, if you don't have relationships, then this could be just something you're really excited about. And on Thursday, you're going to realize what your 10 of Cups is, and try to move towards it. And on Friday, we have canceled plans once again. Everybody's getting that. What the hell? Okay, moving on to Sagittarius. Which is funny, that's the card that wanted to pull Sagittarius. Monday through Friday for Sagittarius. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, Sagittarius, there's some sort of change happening between you and somebody you could have a relationship with. Doesn't have to be romantic, it's just pulling that way. Fighting for some sort of reconciliation and or fighting in general. On Tuesday, you're feeling pretty optimistic. You have new options coming in, especially when it comes to emotional fulfillment. On Wednesday, you're going to hear about someone being heartbroken or you're heartbroken. One or the other could be a water sign. On Thursday, someone's trying to manipulate you or con you out of money, so be careful. And on Friday, you could have growth and abundance around a water sign and or Aries. Somebody that you have some sort of attraction to. All right, moving on to Capricorn. Five cards for Capricorn. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Working towards some sort of goal on Monday, and you will be seeing a significant change in your finances. It looks really good. Still feeling energetically tied to a situation that you want to let go of. On Wednesday, we have you could be spending time with someone you care about. Could be a family member, but there's a lot of emotional abundance there. On Thursday, you may be deciding that you want to take, if you're in a relationship, you want to take it to the next level. If you're not in a relationship, you could be meeting the person this week, okay? And a fight over a gift or change of plans, okay? Oh, that's Friday. Okay, moving on to Aquarius. 5 cards for Aquarius. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Big changes on Monday. You could have a stalker as well. I'm not loving that for you. Changes are going to be anything from moving or changing what you do for work. On Tuesday, we have you deciding what your 10 of Cups is and working towards that goal. On Wednesday, you're getting messages from somebody being an absolute asshole to you, but somebody you can't really get away from. So maybe this is like family and or work. On Thursday, somebody's going to try to reconcile with you. This is someone you had a long-term commitment with at some point. And on Friday, we are doing some self-care and balance. Could be buying yourself something nice. Man, I'm getting a lot of phone calls today. Jeez. Okay. And for Pisces. 5 cards for Pisces for the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Pisces could be spending time with somebody you care about and or trying to fix or resolve a situation with someone you care about. On Tuesday, we have you healing. Money looks really fantastic. Could be working on some new side business or a new goal in general. On Wednesday, could be fighting with somebody over investing, a relationship, or even finances of any sort. On Thursday, you will be getting else gifted something, or someone's making some sort of proposal to you on Thursday. Could be a fire sign. And on Friday, we have you making big changes, looking at new options and opportunities, whether that's work-related and or relationship-related. All right, guys. Hopefully everybody's going to have a great week now that retrograde is coming to an end. And I'm going to try to go get some rest.